My name is Ari, and I'm the co-founder of the CashPay wallet and Legally Chained. Well, I come from a corporate procurement background. I'm used to working in IT and selling stuff, basically. And at a certain point, I decided to quit my job and go full-time in Bitcoin.
Any particular industry?
IT. So
Just
we,
IT.
yeah.
But not like the financial industry?
No. Basically, all corporate companies with 500 or more employees were our customers.
Okay, good. And what's your project?
The project we're working on here is called Toshi's Fund, and it's basically a new business model for nonprofits.
Please share some of that.
Well, nonprofits have different functions. One of the things that they do very well is identify and verify the people that are in need. And a thing that they don't do very well is managing funds. 80% of what you donate to a nonprofit goes to management or salaries or the organization itself. And Toshi's Fund tries to change that by introducing an additional middleman, which is the local businesses. So we're building a system where local nonprofits identify homeless children, and they register their identity on chain. They connect that to an NFC card, and they onboard local businesses to offer services and products to these children. Donors can donate directly to these children. The money goes in a pool, and every time a child gets a service or a product at a local store or local business, the card gets scanned and the local business gets paid. So this way, the handling of the money isn't done by the nonprofit, but the identifying and verifying of the children is still done by the nonprofit, because that's something that they do very well.
And the businesses in the introduction you shared about children being able to get food, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So could you just share a little bit what it would like for a homeless child that's hungry?
Yeah, so if you're a homeless child that's hungry, you could go to a nonprofit, a local nonprofit that deals with homeless children. They could register you inside the application, register your identity basically. They connect an NFC card to your identity, and they hand you as a child that card. Then you could go to the local businesses that are connected to the app and offer products or services. Show them your card, they scan it with their phone, and by scanning it, they also release the funds. So at the point that the child gets the product or the service, that's when the local business gets paid. And 10% of that money goes back to the nonprofit to have an incentive for the nonprofit to onboard more children and onboard more local businesses that offer services and products.
Is a living proof of work system?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So what we're trying to do is step away from this model where everybody tries to cut out all middlemen, because sometimes middlemen offer value in the chain, and sometimes you need additional middlemen to check on other middlemen and verify that they're doing their job. And that's what we're trying to do with Toshi's Fund, is introducing a new middleman into a process that's already existing and changing the business model of nonprofits.
And very interesting what you said in your introduction upstairs about Bitcoin is supposedly to cut the middleman.
Mm-hmm.
You're introducing more of them.
Yeah, I don't think Bitcoin is supposed to cut out middlemen. I think the only middleman that Bitcoin is supposed to cut out is the middleman that's creating the money that you and me use, and the middlemen that are settling the transactions. The trust in the middleman that you have to have in settling the transactions. I think Bitcoin enables other middlemen to be more efficient in the services that I offer, and I think sometimes it just makes sense to add new middlemen to a process instead of removing them, because it changes incentives, and it brings additional checks and balances into a system. And I hope Toshi's Fund is something that will inspire others to also broaden their horizon when it comes to middlemen and what their function is in the Bitcoin world.
It's very smart. And so is Toshi's fund going to be global? It's sounding like it'll be able to be used anywhere. Because homelessness is an issue everywhere. Melbourne is just growing.
Yes. Yeah. So we're trying it out here in Bali, because we're here. But it's definitely a system that can be used anywhere by anyone. So you can also imagine having vending machines that have books in them that are supplied by the local bookstore, with kids that can get a book by scanning their card, and it can be anything basically.
School books.
Yeah.
Like even things that the kids need.
Yes, I think it's important for us to look into solutions that offer that bring equal opportunity to everybody, and homeless children don't have that. And right now, the people that are trying to help them, the nonprofits, they just have a lot of overhead, which is understandable. I mean, it grew that way, but I think it's time to step off of the old model that they used, and step into something new.
Well, it's proving inefficient.
Yeah.
So I can see Africa as an example for that. So what was your moment of truth with the original Bitcoin? What had you realised that BSV is the chain lead coin?
Well, I know, of course. I was involved earlier. It's not like I came in with BSV. So I understood what the original protocol was supposed to do, and what all these other protocols weren't doing. For me, it's basically the realization that if we are able to convince each other to hold each other accountable for the things that we do according to the law, then eventually government will follow. And if it turns out that some laws are unjust, those laws will change. And I think the first step towards that world is by trying to hold each other accountable, and hold the users of our services accountable.
You've also been very strong around the economics, which seems to have been missing in many of the developers' world. So you've been really, really strong with that. Would you like to say a little bit more about the Bitcoin economics?
I think the reason why a lot of developers are missing that part is because they think that Bitcoin is only a payment system, which enables you to pay for something, and they're also used to being like this god entity in the crypto sphere. They are responsible for basically everything. And some of the developers are truly genius when we're talking about the technicalities of what they're doing. But they miss the economic incentives that they are producing with their applications, and I think we need more business people guiding these developers into viable products.
Would you say that open source, that modality, had a lot to do with that? Because a lot of open source developers are not used to handling money.
I think it does, but still, I mean, like legally chained, an example, is something that's built on an open source protocol. We open source the protocol, so anybody can use it. So I think there are a lot of possibilities where you can use open source in combination with closed source and commercial activity. And I think that bringing that together is something important, and something that we should do.
So where do you see yourself fitting into the future of Bitcoin?
Let me think a little bit on that.
You can say the top.
Sorry?
You can say the top. That's fine.
Well, certainly at the top, but at the top of what is the question, of course. I certainly hope that with Legally Chained we are able to bring digital identity on chain, and we're able to bring user accountability to these applications. And I think I hope in 5 years from now it's just a given that you're accountable for your actions online, and I hope to have played a part in achieving that. The project on what Toshi's fund is based on is Legally Chained, and Legally Chained is an on-chain digital identity management solution which allows users to hold their privacy, own their own data, but it still enables businesses and services to be legally compliant. So you have the best of both worlds, basically. Right now, the issue with digital identity is that it's not safe. Businesses don't store it safely, and they also have a lot of issues with being regulatory compliant. This system allows businesses to easily be regulatory compliant while also ensuring that the users have the privacy that they deserve and that they have a right to according to law.
And smart contracts can be created on Legally Chained for the copyright and legal issues.
Well, right now on Legally Chained, you can use Legally Chained to legally sign documents, and it can be implemented in basically anything. So the guys that are building smart contract solutions right now, they will probably use it as the identity solution for their users. So users can go through KYC. It's ensured that they went through KYC. But that data is personal, and that data is stored with the user itself and owned by the user itself, and access is granted to these services, but also can be revoked by the user. So the user is in total control of his identity.